Alright, I'm going to do a quick video on the pandemic. This is going to be my final video on the topic. If you still don't understand what is going on after this video, then there's nothing I can say or do in order to get you to see as I see. So we've got this story here from Sky News Australia, alright, who have done nothing but promote the pandemic here in Australia, which in turn crashed many small businesses, and whilst at the same time pretending that they were going against the Victorian Labor government under Dan Andrews. Alright, and if you subscribe to me, then you probably know that they're all the same people working against you. So we'll just play this quickly, and I want to point out a couple of things.
With some good news, great news really, has been some incredibly positive developments in
great news really, great news for them.
The battle against COVID-19 and progress towards a vaccine. Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna and Russia's Gamaleya Center recently announced their vaccine candidates are around 90% effective.
Alright, so you'll notice there that you've got purple lids on those vaccines. Alright, there's a reason why they're showing this photo or this footage. Alright, your blue and your red make the colour purple. Okay, now you've got two bloodlines here on this earth. Alright, your blue bloods are the serpent race. Alright, your copper-based bloodlines, which I've shown you in my previous video, who the individuals are behind this. Okay, now there's a reason why they mentioned 3 companies here in this story. Alright, because they communicate through your Strong's Concordance. Number 3. Means Abaddon, the angel of the abyss. Alright, now, if you're wondering who Abaddon is, Revelation 9:11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. Alright, look at that number there, 9:11. Now, we're going to take a look at the One World Trade Center. Alright, what does that look like to you? Does that look like a needle? Remember, there were 2 towers. There's now 1. And now you will remember that Bush and Obama both read scriptures, Psalm 23 and 46, which is for the 23 chromosomes given by each parent to the child. Alright, is it starting to make sense yet? Now, you've got this character here on screen from this story only days earlier from Sky News, claiming that Victoria is pandemic free. Okay, now take a look at that character on screen. I look at that bloke and he reminds me of a serpent.
Restrictions and modify them as depending on how much community transmission we have.
Yeah, look, I think that's...
Right, did you see that? Where he gives you that tongue flick. So we'll just go back and have a listen to him.
With a 90% effective vaccine till at least the end of next year. So until we have that, we're going to have this ongoing population that's susceptible, and we're going to have to learn to live with some restrictions and modify them as depending on how much community transmission we have.
Yeah, look, I think...
Right, so why couldn't he have said that without flicking his tongue? Alright, think about it. What you've got is the serpent race, which I've been trying to explain to you guys on my channel, choreographing through their media sellouts for the last 2 decades, basically, what their plans are. Hence why 3 is coded into here. That's why they give you this image of the purple lids. You've got your Revelation 9:11. You've got the One World Trade Center, which looks like a giant needle. Now, take a look at this. You've got these nurses here. And I thought to myself, I was discussing it with one of my subs earlier, actually. I asked them, I said, do you not find it strange that all these nurses in the middle of a pandemic can supposedly choreograph all these dances? Now, what I mean by that is, I'm going to play this footage and I want you to ask yourself, how do you think it's possible that these nurses are able to dance like this? Do you really think that they can really dance like this? Or do you think that there's something that runs them that is making them dance like this? And by that something, I mean this. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. Now take a look at this.
Touch this. Touch this. Touch this.
Do you really think those nurses can dance like that? Or do you think there's something that's making them dance like that? Just think about it.
Touch this. Touch this. Touch this.
This whole pandemic has been put on basically to change who you are as a human being and turn you into one of these mind-controlled zombies. basically. Alright, it's no accident that the One World Trade Center was designed like that.
Have the capacity to also have a small chip. What that chip does.
How does the optional RFID chip work?
Well, each of these devices that are injected have the capacity to also have a small chip. What that chip does is it has the unique serial number for each dose. It is designed so that there is no counterfeiting. It's designed so that we'll know exactly that the right dose hasn't expired. However, that chip only refers to the dose. There's no personal information, no patient information. It's simply like a barcode, only we know instantaneously where and when that dose has been used. That also helps public health officials know when there are outbreaks, have we vaccinated enough people in those areas? That technology is purely optional, however, and the US government hasn't even decided if they're going to use it.
How quickly can you manufacture the vaccines, and what's your long-term goal?
Well, we don't make vaccines, Lori. Drug companies make the vaccines. They then ship them to us for the packaging. So our long-term goal is to make sure that no matter what vaccine wins, or what vaccines, and what therapeutics are available, America can fill and finish in these pre-filled syringes as many of the drugs as we need for U.S. citizens, and eventually to have excess that we can export worldwide. Our goal is to make sure that on American soil, we have everything we need to protect America.
When do you think you might start filling these with the vaccine?
Well, the president has said that that vaccine will be ready this year. So if that vaccine shows up at our door, we're going to be ready to fill it as soon as it does.
Well, it's a fascinating new technology. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. Jay Walker, CEO of Appyject, thanks for being here. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you for having me, Lori.
Yep.